if everything you see, everything you touch, everything you believe is real, is actually just a simulation? Your memories, your planet, even the entire universe. All of it could exist inside an unimaginably powerful computer. It may sound like science fiction, but some scientists and philosophers believe this idea might actually be true. In fact, there are several strange clues in modern physics that make researchers wonder, is our universe a simulation? For thousands of years, humans assumed the universe was simply physical reality, but in 2003, philosopher Nick Bostrom introduced a controversial idea known as the simulation hypothesis. His argument was surprisingly simple. If advanced civilizations become technologically powerful enough, they might be able to simulate entire universes using extremely powerful computers. And if even one civilization in the universe eventually reaches that level of technology, they could create millions or even billions of simulated universes. Which leads to a shocking conclusion. Statistically speaking, it might be far more likely that we live inside a simulation than in the original base reality. To understand this idea better, imagine the evolution of video games. Just a few decades ago, games looked like this, simple pixels moving across a screen. But today we have massive open-world games with realistic physics, artificial intelligence, detailed environments, entire virtual cities. Now imagine what video games might look like 1,000 years from now or 10,000 years from now. Future civilizations might create simulations so detailed that the inhabitants inside them would have no idea. They were simulated, just like characters inside a video game cannot see the computer running. Their world. Some physicists believe the universe contains unusual properties that resemble a computational system. One example is the existence of fundamental limits. In our universe, there appears to be a maximum speed. Nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. This rule was discovered by Albert Einstein in computer simulations. Speed limits often exist because the system has processing limits. Could the speed of light be similar to a maximum bandwidth limit of the universe? Some researchers have wondered exactly that. Another strange idea is that space itself might not be continuous. Instead, it might be made of incredibly tiny units called Planck length. This is the smallest possible measurable distance in physics. Anything smaller simply cannot exist. Think of it like the pixels on a screen. When you zoom into a digital image far enough, you eventually reach individual pixels. Some physicists have suggested the universe might work in a similar way. Space and time might be discrete units, like the pixels of a cosmic simulation, quantum physics. Makes reality even stranger. Particles can exist in multiple states at once. This phenomenon is called quantum superposition. Particles also appear to behave differently when they are being observed. One famous experiment demonstrating this is the double-slit experiment, when particles are not observed. They behave like waves, but when scientists measure them, they behave like particles. Some people have speculated that this could resemble a rendering system. In many video games, objects are only fully rendered when the player looks at them. Could reality be doing something similar? Most physicists do not believe this proves the universe is simulated. But the similarities are intriguing. Creating a simulation as large as our universe would require an unimaginable amount of computing power. But technology evolves exponentially. Just consider how computers have evolved over the last century. Processing power has increased billions of times. Now imagine the technology of a civilization that is thousands of years older than ours, millions of years older, or even billions of years older. Such a civilization might have access to computing power beyond anything we can imagine. Simulating entire universes might be trivial for them. This raises another question. Why would anyone create a simulated universe? There are many possible reasons. An advanced civilization might create simulations to study history. They could recreate the evolution of life across billions of years. Scientists in that. Civilization could run experiments inside simulated universes to understand physics, or perhaps simulations could be used as entertainment. Entire virtual worlds filled with intelligent beings might exist purely for curiosity. In that scenario, we could be part of a cosmic experiment. If our universe is simulated, Could we ever prove it? Some scientists have proposed searching for glitches in reality for example, limits in physical precision, unusual patterns in cosmic radiation, strange mathematical structures in the laws of physics. Some researchers have even suggested the universe might contain computational artifacts. However, detecting such evidence would be extremely difficult if the simulation is advanced enough. It might perfectly mimic reality. Some physicists believe the laws of physics themselves look suspiciously mathematical. The universe appears to follow elegant equations. From gravity to quantum mechanics, the entire cosmos seems to operate according to mathematical rules. This has led some thinkers to suggest that reality might actually be information-based. Instead of matter being a fundamental component of reality, information might be the true foundation of the universe, which sounds surprisingly similar to how computer simulations work. Even if we cannot prove the simulation hypothesis, it raises deep philosophical questions. If we are inside a simulation, does that make our lives less meaningful? Most philosophers argue the answer is no. Our experiences, emotions, and relationships would still be real to us, even if reality exists inside a computer somewhere. In other words, whether the universe is simulated or not, our lives still matter. There is one final possibility that is even stranger. If simulations can exist and simulated civilizations eventually develop their own technology, those civilizations might also create simulations. Which means there could be simulations inside simulations. Layers upon layers of artificial universes. And we might exist somewhere deep within that stack. So is our universe a simulation? Right now, science does not have a definitive answer. But the idea continues to fascinate scientists, philosophers, and physicists around the world. Because if the simulation hypothesis is true, it would completely change our understanding of reality. And somewhere beyond our universe, there might be an intelligence watching the simulation unfold.